Hello again to this video clip series, My Journey to God in a Very Secularized World. I would like to talk a little bit now about that you can find in an article I wrote with the title of The Cause and the Solution for the Great Apostasy, that St. Paul talked about in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Because as you know, the more responsibility that one has, the more one can do good or harm. The more, like in an army, a general can do much more damage if he makes a mistake than a buck private. Because Our Lady, to Joseph Nagobi, tells us that the great apostasy began with the priests because they have more responsibility. She says these priests, sons of mine, who have betrayed the gospel in order to second the great satanic error of Marxism. It is especially because of them that the chastisement of communism will soon come and will deprive everyone of all they possess. Times of great tribulation will unfold. Then it will be these poor sons of mine who will begin the great apostasy. Watch and pray, all of you, priests who are faithful to me. That was a message of July 28, 1973. Another message, she says, by your word, which will repeat ever more loudly and clearly the truth which my Son Jesus has come to reveal to you. Do you see how many of your brother priests betray this truth in the attempt to adapt it to the mentality of the world, impelled by a false illusion of being better understood, listened to by more people, and more easily followed? Then she says, this is strong, this is good. She says, no illusion is more dangerous than this. This is what so many priests and bishops do today. They want to please people instead of God. That was a message of February 2, 1976. Another message she gave, what is it that is obscuring the beauty and the brightness of the church? It is the smoke of the airs which Satan has caused to enter into it. These are becoming constantly more and more disseminated and are bringing very many souls to the loss of the faith. The cause of such a vast diffusion of errors and of this great apostasy rests with unfaithful pastors. They remain silent when they should speak with courage to condemn error and to defend the truth. They do not intervene when they should be unmasking the rapacious wolves who, hidden beneath the clothing of lambs, have insinuated themselves into the flock of Christ. They are mute dogs who allow their flocks to be torn to pieces. You, on the other hand, talking about good priests, must speak out with force and with courage to condemn error and to spread only the truth. The time of your public and courageous witness has come. This was a message of September 8th, 1985. Another message she gave, but the few priests who remain faithful to the unchanging truth of God will be the main instruments in the hands of Our Lady for the triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary before the second coming of her Son Jesus Christ. Here's her message. She says this, behold, when everything will have come tumbling down, all that will remain will be the strength of their tears. It's talking about the tears of the good priests, that will compel me to intervene in an amazing and terrible way. And my triumph will begin with these beloved sons, my priests. February 23, 1974. Because vocations come from God, not from man. But we are all free to correspond with the graces of our vocations for the glory of God and for the salvation of souls, or we are free, or we can freely seek the glory before men instead of before God. Heaven is not automatic, and hell does exist, contrary to what we hear in the modern church today. The priesthood is a great calling. That's why Our Lady says, pray for priests and bishops. But each person is always totally free before God. To become a priest or a bishop does not mean automatically salvation or sanctity. We're all free before God, even if we choose to sin and to go to hell for all eternity. If a buck private in the army makes a mistake in a battle, there is little damage. If a colonel, a priest, or a general, a bishop, makes a mistake, or even becomes a traitor in a war, there is much more damage. No priest or bishop goes to hell or to heaven alone. I think it was St. John Vianney said that a priest that goes to hell takes 1,000 souls with him, or to heaven. Speaking about the great responsibility of priests and bishops, St. John Chrysostom, St. John Eudes, and St. Athanasius said that the road to hell is paved with the bones of priests and monks, and the skulls of bishops are the lampposts that light the path. Talking about the great responsibility of priests and bishops and the ones who do not remain faithful to Christ. St. Michael the Archangel at Garabandal, sent by Our Lady, Spain, 1965, said, many cardinals, many bishops, and many priests are on the road to perdition, and with them they are bringing many souls. We cannot take the place of another person with a specific vocation from God, as secular feminism tells us to do regarding ordination of women and looking continually at the faults of one's husbands, or so as to justify putting aside one's husband. This is why Our Lady continually asks us to not judge, but to pray for priests and bishops, the first target of Satan. Today, even Catholic media, seeking to be politically correct, promotes the empowerment of women like men, but rarely promotes the wife's fundamental vocation to inspire her husband with much patience and prayer, as did all the married women saints of the past. Secular feminism strongly promotes empowerment of women, but so does Catholic media today, because it's so politically correct. Look at the saints, St. Monica, St. Rita of Cascia, married saints. Look what they did, and they say, well, they're just the old times, not for the modern times. They're kind of impost stupid, but we're intelligent today. Even the Catholic media does this. Secular feminism promotes the controlling, manipulating, seducing, and dominating men. Communism strongly promotes secular feminism, as is being done today more than ever before worldwide. So there's very little protection for the families and for societies, and thus there is very little resistance to the dictatorship. It was much worse after the French Revolution, 1798, and after the Russian Revolution, 1917. There were very few people praying for the King of France and the Tsar of Russia. It turns out to be almost always worse after divorce and remarriage, as the statistics show. The true saints of God prayed with much patience and perseverance for their respective spouses. I might say, even like it's interesting, for example, that Freemasonry, for a couple of centuries, have always promoted to get women to do more and men less, and so as to come into power. And this is even, it sounds like a subtle thing, but what is written, like in the Bible, St. Paul and St. Peter. Today they say, oh, that's for 2,000 years ago, but not for today. I mean, for example, if you read in first letter of Timothy, chapter 2, woo, the women will say St. Paul's an idiot. He says strong. He says, women, be silent, and be totally submissive to your husband, and have kids. Woo! St. Paul, you're a stupid idiot. Okay. It's not politically correct to say this. There's no protection of the society today. Because God gave man that vocation to protect. Not to be, but the pornography makes man a predator instead of a protector. And the man has the vocation to protect. And there's no men today to protect. That's why the Freemasons can manipulate the world the way they want to, because as the men they've been succeeded and put them down with secular feminism to put aside the man who has the vocation and by nature to protect. There's no more protection for society. How different is the meaning of the slogan of the 68? I'll finish this video clip here. May God bless you and Mary guide you.